Their looting went on. I understand that you're in Midtown and you're seeing similar things happen this evening.
That's a pretty widespread looting down in Midtown, especially the eastern portion.
Looting going on. Everybody, the curfew's on in New York. Everybody is still on the street. And so protests all over the place. My first glass of wine here. So I'm going to do a little rant. I'm going to contact Faust, and he doesn't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we'll just go on, and we'll try not to go in no details. We're just about what's going on down the States, and if it's right. Of course, what happened to the guy, definitely not right. Let's see here. Let's see how this goes.
Yes, hello?
How you doing?
Hey, not too bad there, Charles.
You doing good?
I was doing good.
I never even told you what I was going to rant about.
I know, because you like to catch me with the element of surprise.
Yes, always did.
See how quick I'm on my feet, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm not gonna let you rant. John might be upset. Oh, okay. So down in the States, what's going on? All the protests.
Well, it's almost a flashback of the 60s during the civil rights movement. A lot of parallels.
Yeah.
And the old man Trump, I mean, his attitude telling the governors were weak because they're not bringing in the military.
Did you see what happened tonight?
No, I haven't, no.
He announced a news conference, and then the minute the news conference, halfway to the news conference, they all cleared the protester in front of the White House, and he went to a church, and oh, what an idiot! And then he just didn't say nothing, just hold the Bible in hand, and oh no, go to YouTube. It's interesting, but that's not the issue I want to talk about.
Yeah, that would probably piss me off anyway.
Yeah. They're having protests here in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia across Canada in supporting what happened down the States. Why should we care, really, of what's going on down the States?
Well, racism has no borders. So, yes, protesting makes a lot of sense. The obvious is, of course, it's giving the black brothers and sisters support. But I protest. Some of them is Black Lives Counts, but also in recognition of the amount of racist attitudes there are for minorities and our Aboriginal people.
I agree. And we have a woman, Caroline Warnock, which I've been fighting for a few years. She died in the Miramichi prison. The guard ignored her. She begged for her life. No inquest, no nothing. And there's nothing done about that. There's no protest about that. That's okay because it was behind bars. Well, she must have broke the law. She broke the law, so if she would never broke the law, she would have never been there in the first place.
Yeah, correct. But one thing, and I'm going to get criticized for this, but public attitude when it comes to people in jail is, predates the feudal system. I mean, I don't know why in that case that there isn't any understanding, empathy to even understand why a person goes there. I mean, I'm not talking about the sexually related crimes or but the everyday kind of things that people get themselves into trouble. We have this idea of lock them up, throw away the key, and if the populace had a say, we'd still have the death penalty here. The current Warnock, I mean, that was a disgusting state of affairs. That was never taken place. In ways, it parallels what happened to George Floyd. The police officer kept his knee on the neck and shut off the oxygen flow to his brain. Well, with her, all the signs are there, and the guys are standing outside the door, and we know that this is correct. It's hit the media that, the warden gave instructions not to intervene as long as she was breathing.
Yeah. But there was no inquest, no nothing, absolutely nothing.
No,
and there's other people that died also behind there, but that's another issue. But then you have the justice system that's really, really corrupt, and we have cops here. I mean, I'm sorry, I think everything's going to be brought up the next few weeks. My issues, but if it happened to me, what other person this happened to? But we're not protesting that. But we will go and protest something that's happening down the States.
Yeah, and that has to do with public perception, public attitude.
But it has nothing to do with us.
Here, if somebody abuses an animal or dog or something, more negative response from the populace will happen than someone who has been incarcerated and they die.
That's true.
Because our society does not give a rat's ass about people in jail.
No, it is. But a few people email me they're going to have a protest at the legislator, and they tell me, well, you're going to be there for sure to cover it. Oh yeah, I'll be there, but maybe I should. Maybe I'm wearing my Donald Trump T-shirt. Maybe I should wear that there.
When is the protest?
Somebody said Wednesday, and then Global News just said Friday at 7 o'clock. So anyway, it's Wednesday or Friday. Now, what is the speech? I'm just trying to understand. As Canadians, you stand up at the steps and you start condemning Donald Trump and start condemning the police in the States, but you don't say a word about the police here. I don't get it.
I don't know about New Brunswick, but
the what?
About New Brunswick, but in Ontario, there's been a lot of problems with the Toronto police.
Oh yeah, with the visible minority and everything.
But Ontario's a little different because there's two organizations that have a lot of money to fight this. One is the John Howard Society, and the other one is the CCLA, the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. And that's why these Ontario cases keep coming up.
The population is bigger.
Well, yes, it's bigger, but still, what I'm getting at is that there's, two powerful groups that, that can do something here in New Brunswick. We don't.
Oh no, we don't. They only CCLA only came once, and that was in my case, and that was because some professor from UNB spoke up.
Well, yeah, but there was another thing in behind that. The CCLA addresses usually charter of rights thing, and that defamation was it was struck down, I think, by 3 courts.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the local police is trying to get a workaround, and they got caught.
Well, you have charter of rights, and then you got the local police with that assault charge with that idiot drunken poet, Penny for Poem, and which we haven't really go in public and go to the Attorney General or Public Safety, but you had the cops, Fredericton Police, Shane Henderson, and Bobby Simmons intimidating and Bobby Simmons Beauchamp. Bobby Beauchamp Simmons. Okay, sorry. That wine is strong. It's my first glass. Intimidating Terry Wizard, the only witness, and intimidated that if one fact was wrong in his statement, he would go to jail for 2 years or maybe 5. So you got something like this. That's bad.
Just that. I mean, I seen that video where they intimidated him and basically threatened him.
Yeah, they opened the door. They said the door is right there.
And that's the first time that I've ever seen or heard of that. I mean,
that's
people get called in as witnesses all the time. And
yeah.
Sure, this is an isolated case.
Yeah.
But with you, there was that point they were trying to get you.
Yeah, we're not going to change it to a me. But you have something. You have a lot of issues here in Canada. Like, I still don't. I don't understand how the protests can go here in the Maritimes. And here in New Brunswick, well, I know for a fact there's a black guy named Mike Hoyt. He's a nice guy, very nice. He's one of the first guys I met here in Fredericton. And he was stopped by, he's a security at the legislator, and he was stopped by a cop. And he said, "Yes, sir, may I help you?" Was riding a bicycle with no helmet. And the cop looked at him, he said, "Oh, it's you," and let him go. But he stopped his cousin about half an hour later and gave him a ticket for riding a bicycle with no helmet at 11 o'clock at night. So, you got something like that. All right. But, issue, but I don't know. I'm a little bit confused how, are they going to focus on New Brunswick, or are they going to focus on what's going on here, or they're just going to focus on what happened down the States?
Well, I don't think it's as much as focusing on. It's, as I said earlier, the reasons for Canadians getting involved in the protest. Well, this is also happening worldwide and condemning the United States. What we're seeing here, I remember that, was I'm giving my age away now. I remember the tail end of the civil rights movements in the States, and this goes way back with Dr. Norman Strax, who was a professor of physics. What got him into the bad light with the university is that he organized a group of students to go down stateside to protest the bombing of Cambodia in the Vietnam War.
Oh yeah.
So it's happened. It's happened before where, as Canadians, we've gotten, interested in other atrocities outside of our country. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was when that young black fellow was shot in a train in Toronto.
Oh yeah.
That was what 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the number of Toronto police that was involved.
Yeah, but that's like I said, that's a bigger population. But here, we should focus on the issues, on what's going on here in this province.
Well, nothing says that you can't focus on multiple things.
You mean everybody has ADHD? They could focus on all kinds of different stuff.
But things that you've brought up, like the Carolyn case. There's other cases. The gunning down of Michel Dino.
Yeah. No protest. There were protests up north. But nothing in Fredericton, big protests and to denounce a cop shooting an innocent citizen. That was in Batters.
For Michel Dino.
Yeah.
Nobody put flowers in. No one sent the family $30,000.
No.
We've seen both with the Justin Bourque case and what was it called? Brookside incident. thing is, like, the police are like a quantum. They occupied 2 states at one time. In one sense, they're the very best for democracy, and then they can be the worst thing for democracy.
Oh yeah, we know that. But for the record, they've been leaving me the hell alone. But I always...
Well, with you, they fought the war of attrition with you. They tried to wear you out. They never understood, you know, how stubborn.
No, but my goatee,
superhuman on that.
Yeah, my goatee used to be brown, so.
Yeah, they're just getting old there. You hit 60.
Yeah, it's 60. Okay, with that thought, see you at the protest Friday.
Yep, I'll be there. And once you get a confirmation of the time, let me know, and I will be there.
I'll let you know. Talk to you later.
Charles, have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye. So that's it. But I'm just curious to see how are they going to speak up and how they're going to denounce it. Can they denounce some stuff here that's happening in New Brunswick? Stay tuned.